I was muted. Okay. So I'm trying to do lighting, and what I'm thinking at first I was considering using light environment. It looks fine. It's just before I go that route. So I'm gonna make another selection set for light environment. Hide it. I'll bring back the barn light. I'll focus, whoops, the shadow. Not full brights, all lighting. Focus the shadow. Uh, does not need to go that deep, I don't think. It's just looking a little odd. It seems like these faces aren't actually blocking the light, so I'm gonna see if I can go tools, block. Go back to this one. Maybe I'm just going too big with it. Hold on, let me go back. Nah, there's definitely a difference. So I'm gonna stick with what I have here. And I'm gonna go back to that other cache self illum material. I'm not sure which I prefer. Maybe smaller is fine. Anyway, so I do that, and now before I forget, I do this. Okay. I'm gonna make a second light. That's going to be inside the room. Taking up significantly more space. And being slightly wider. So it actually reaches the walls. Still, what happens? First, let's bake the lighting. Okay. Now let's make sure this actually goes as far as it can. Now I'm gonna lower the height because I'm gonna have the same setup above. Coming from here. All right, let me actually configure the lights. So first, these. I'm going to hide them. This is the, I don't know what to call it. Room light. So I want to focus just on the, is this dumb? So I'm trying to make a direct light come like in the shape of here of this window, and then the rest of the space is a more dim light. I guess it's because this one definitely is not enough. What if I flip it? What if I do the opposite? So keep the room light, but disable these two. This is the spotlight. I don't know. This doesn't look, this does not look good at all. Let me start with just one and configure it better. So, I mean, it's just so hard to see anything. There's too much, too many faces in the way. I definitely need aperture softness. I'll go to like 0.4, I guess. Seeing that shadow is a bit not good. Is it because it's too far into the wall? Just whack a big Omni light. The mapper Magic 8 Ball does that on his op maps. Yeah? Let's see. There's still just there doesn't I can't find I wouldn't be able to find a good place. So like unironically, uh Omnilight is not a bad idea. It's just I'd have to not treat this glass thing as a light source. I'm gonna instead have an actual light source on the walls, I guess. Maybe if I load into the map, I'll have a better uh feeling on where I want to put a light. So I'll just start in this spawn. Are you wanting to do this to all windows? Mm, I don't know if I understand. So I'm adding windows to add light. So it's like the what you phrased it as if I'm adding light because there's windows, but it's really I'm adding windows just for the sake of adding light. I don't really care about the windows. They're just there because I need to have some sort of justification for the light. Do you want the spots coming? There's a stupid symbol on my phone that blocks me from seeing part of the message. Maybe I have to go horizontal. Nope. Do you want the spots coming out all the windows? Um, I mean, I'm gonna just pretend the windows aren't there. Can you not just use an environment light coming through all the windows? So the environment there's two problems. One is the light environment is one direction. So like I already have one. So even without any windows or anything, for some reason light environment still shows in the map. So you can already see like if I were to add windows, like this is kind of how the light would appear. It's not baked, so it's not going to show lighting like this, like the indirect lighting, but like there's a lot of parts of the map that are just not going to get touched because of the angle of the sun. Um I mean I could change that if I change how I've done the walls. Like or I guess I can just open up. It depends. Like there's some spots that it wouldn't work for. That's what I'm trying to say. So let's say what happens if I bake lighting even if there's nothing? Okay, I don't know what I expected. Nothing happened. Anyway, I'm gonna close off the windows. Back up to grid 64. Okay, so I'm instead gonna try to approach it by looking for spots that may make sense to put a light source. That's why I was going to the spawn, so... First, the range is too much, but I can change that through here. If I remember which one of these represents the range. It's this one. Now the angle, is this the inner or outer? This one's outer, this one's inner. Whoops. Okay, so let's say we're on the ceiling, but a little ways off. Is this just, it's just not enough range, it's not going to do anything. Okay. Whoops. What does this line do? This is fall off. I'll put it at 25, I guess. This is way too bright. No, I do want the inner angle to touch the whole room. Whoops. Now, how about the light shape? I guess sphere will do. Do these not do anything? I guess not. Then, let's look for a prop. Or... I don't need to find a prop right now. I'll just do a mesh. Whoops. The only self-illume thing is this cache stuff. Okay, then. Doesn't really matter what material. I will do UI or just white. White. UI. This one. Go to grid 8. This thing should... No shadows. Not emissive. Is there a way for it to also just like not receive lighting? What does this do? Nope. Model CS Italy lights interior light fixture 1. Take a look. Lighting. I guess I want to change the shape of that shadow. And that's done by adjusting this outer angle. So I'll just do that until it's some size I'm okay with. Now, it's still too close, or is it? Let's hide. Don't show tools now. Don't show editor only. Material group illuminated. Still think it's too bright. Hmm. This one doesn't really do anything other than reduce the brightness up here, but that's only at this point. So anything below that doesn't really make much of a difference. So I'll just keep it how I had it. There has to be some balance I can go for here where it's not a very obvious black circle, but it's also not so absurdly bright. I'll just leave it alone. Is it centered in the room? The center of the room is here, so it's not quite centered. Now it is. So this one is problematic because it's too close to walls, so that spot is no good. That means I can't just have like one type of light and like reposition it. I have to actually tailor the light to whatever spot I feel like putting it in. So I will ignore the prop. I will clear all lighting and get rid of this thing. Oops, I did not mean to duplicate it. I mean, I liked this corner, so maybe I can try here and just rotate. And then adjust the angles. Where's the... I really wish I could tell which of these is which. Okay, the bottom, the one on the tip of the globe is the range. The second one, or the one that only moves in this direction, is fall off. So then these last two are the inner and outer angles. This is another case where the inner angle doesn't really matter so much as the outer. I want local rotation. Okay, so here now I switched the light shape to be a tube. And this one I can make smaller, hopefully. Oops. Alright, making it thinner doesn't seem to do anything. Well, anyway, I just need something that will fill that shape. So let's see if I find something. Light. What does this look like? I mean, maybe. Imagine I do this in combination with a Alright, I have to use local again, but I don't really want to. So I will reshape it before I rotate it and go to Fulbright. Kind of just eyeballing it. I think 24 is a good width, and 32 probably also 24, I think. Now, how far off here? So this space, I mean, that's probably like another 24. No, I think 16's fine. I have to go down grid for this. Ah, right. It's still going to cast a shadow on the face. That's the same problem I had before. Well, in this case, at least, maybe I can just increase the size of the light. I have to go to 2. Whoops. I'm not going to say it's good. Wait, there's no bottom face either. Go down by 4 is fine, but then I also want to go up by 4. Whoops. I don't like working in local space for these. Right, those should be the same length now. It doesn't really matter anyway, because I'm just gonna use, I think I'm just gonna use the cutting or clipping tool. Actually, do I even need to? I can just do this. This seems off grid though. So put it on grid. Now the props are off grid. So put it on grid. That did nothing. Okay. I guess the props can't be on grid. Back to local. I could also do this. Um, to kind of mask that other shadow that's showing. Is there a difference? Very, very slightly. But that slight difference actually kind of matters, so I'm gonna use it, I think. Yeah, but it makes let's see, if I bake again. It's not really doing anything, this light. And then this looks bad, but that's only because it's actually a different material. Hmm. I didn't consider that doing baked lighting actually makes it so that shadow isn't like terrible. So I could just leave it or leave a little more of the shadow so that it's not horribly bright against the walls. And maybe just turning up the brightness. That's too much. I don't know how I feel about it, but maybe if I add more, it'll look better to me. So for now, this one I'll try to reuse. So where's another spot that has this type of corner? Over here. Also, this mesh, I need to make sure it is no physics. And same with the props. Okay. Oops. It's the entire group I must copy. Before I do that, let me change the pivot for the group. That way, now I can rotate it 90 and put it in the spot I want to put it in, which is somewhere up here? The texture is only 30% reflective. I'm sure the map will be brighter with the 70% or higher. Most textures will reflect more light. Hmm. Well, I was gonna make a, or I think I was gonna make a material. I had an idea for, well, whatever. It doesn't really matter what material I use. So you're saying try reflectivity. Is anything higher? What does PBR look like? Trying to save. Shift? No, it's Control S. My hand was on the wrong button. Okay, that's nothing. How about not B? I see. Yeah, that does end up bouncing light crazy amount. Also makes me think I should, well, first, I'm gonna turn this group into an instance. And I'm gonna delete this other group and just make sure I remember it's pretty much on that line in the corner. So now I can just move the instance. And then when I edit it, it'll edit both, which may or may not be annoying if I end up wanting to change the light in a specific spot. But I think the problem I'm going to have is going to be consistent depending on where I put the light. So I may as well change it in all of the spots. So my problem is the outer angle is a little overkill. But now this shape is a little too... Hmm. Maybe the problem is the proximity from the light and not the shape. How did this gizmo get all the way over there? So how am I meant to move this? because I can't center origin. Maybe it's because it's not an individual instance. I'm no longer able to. No, okay. Suddenly it moved back in place. That was odd. Ooh, now there's a really bright light there. That's not. Yeah, this doesn't make sense to do with an instance. I'm going back. Oh, did I hide it? How did it get up here? Am I able to move everything to the pivot? Nope. Okay. Then I'll just move the pivot. Whoops. So in this case, the range was way too much, I think. So I need to adjust the range and the fall off, which is this one. This fall off is not behaving how I would expect it to. Yes, it is. Okay, I'm gonna max out the fall off. Range up. This can get closer, I think. That's too much. Right, no, go back to how I had it. Changing the vertical means I have to move the prop down, so I'll move it there, I guess. Still hitting the wall too much. Maybe the brightness is too high. Nah, this just looks so bad. Here as well, it doesn't even look good. I don't think Omnilight is good in this spot. Alright, time to try Light Rect. Don't even know how this thing works. Is it entirely from the shape? Rectangle or disc? This is rectangle. That looks about right. Is this the width? I'll go with 8. Okay. What else can I change about it? What does this do? I have no idea. Okay. What else could I change? The range doesn't really do much. Let's bring it further away from the wall. I don't know. It kind of I can't say it kind of works. I only like the shape it has here, but it's not really lighting the room much. Maybe it's because I have to fall off all the way at 1. I go 0 fall off. 0.25. All right, can I just, what if I just make it closer? Don't like it. I mean, it's, the problem I have with it is just how bright it is very close to the wall, but I don't seem to have a way to adjust that. So then I go for the tried and true barn light. Since it's very similar in that I set the shape, but now I can set the range and the hmm. Why doesn't it look like it's doing anything? Is it, it's because it's inside the wall. Okay. Maybe. Or is it because of the fall off? Or it's the spread? Okay, so this one, I do need to have it take up more space than the little rectangle for it to behave how I want it to. This doesn't seem good. It only looks good when it's insanely spread. Because I can combine it being that wide with softness on the X. Eh, I can't really say that's good. I can't have that visible line. I don't know why I'm insisting on adding it. Oh, it still looks so bad. Maybe I'm trying to light up too much with a single light. Maybe I just need to put several lights instead. Maybe I go the route where I make it giant. Go back to local. Can I reset the angles? I want it to be 45. I'm going to have it vertically span most of the space. I didn't realize how tall this area is. Am I going into a different room at this point? I am. No, this is the same room. Okay. Right then. I will get rid of this temporarily. So that's how that's the only way I know how to light up the space, and it's just at least like playable. There's no like there's nothing like looks I like the light source doesn't really make sense, but the lighting is subtle enough to where it doesn't need to, I guess. But and then I can just like put some I can put lights in some places anyway to try to like pretend. So I'll try this. I'm actually just gonna stick with this one and just move it around. So where is a good place for this one? I mean, the corner I had it in before isn't bad. So let's try that corner. This height is overkill. I guess here it's not great because of the range. It's not reaching the wall. And it's not wide enough. Hmm. Maybe I could get away with angling this one. With, without. So this one, adding the angle creates the shadows that kind of makes me have to justify where the light source is coming from. So I changed my mind on that. Although I don't have a good way of resetting the angle now. Do I? I do. I just press 0. What are these shadows? That's kind of annoying. It's this and this. Because the light is shining through the wall for some reason. So I guess I don't have it go that far. Now what's this? Is it this face? Yes. This is making me think the light is this specific light is only for the upper area. So that's probably just a bad spot. Okay, make sure it's actually in the level. Oh boy. So these shadows are coming from these blocks. So maybe I should, because this is gonna be a common problem. Maybe I need to. Hmm. Like, how is this even happening? It's right, so this little line goes away if I move the light forward. It's still there. Oh, how forward do I have to move it? This one will only go away. So what happens if I do this? Nothing? So it's creating a shadow from the top face. So I guess I should just raise this to avoid it. Can I bring it back? Okay. Now those shadows make no sense. And now it's not lighting anything up. Hmm. For some reason I wasn't able to select that. Okay. Well, if I could somehow justify where this light is coming from, then it wouldn't be so bad. I'm not sure why there's a hard line on one side, but not on the other. Is it because it's slightly closer to one side? I guess that's why. This one's way too bright. Okay, I will worry about justifying the light sources later, but I still need to light up any spot that seems darker than I'd like it to be. Why does this seem okay? It seems rotated because it is rotated. Bring it down. Bring this up. Make it slightly wider. And then bake. That shadow kind of sucks. I can just bring that in. And then it's maybe fine. And it is, I guess I can say it's okay for some spots to be dark. Oh, lighting is so... I have no idea what I'm doing. Hmm. So this shadow is coming from here. I don't like the shadow. So I will lower this light significantly since it's really meant to affect this bottom area, not the top. this room needs a light. Something like that is kind of fine. Which one is creating? This one's creating really bad shadows, so it's too wide. That one's also creating bad shadows. Alright, I'm just gonna build it and see what the first room looks like in game. Matte Fulbright 0. That is because I have no cube maps. I'm gonna ignore it. Okay, I'm not a fan of the lighting right now. Whoops. This feels difficult because of how dark it is, but not really. Alright, well. This lighting is not acceptable, so I need an entirely different approach. That is not what I'm doing. How the heck do you light up a small space or I don't know what words I can use to describe this space, but it's just an enclosed area made of a bunch of, or consisting of a bunch of even smaller areas within it. I'm gonna add this to hide and this one as well. Is there a like clear all lighting? Am I on Fulbright? I am. Okay. What if I try just arbitrarily putting I don't have a moon dome, right? I'll ignore a moon dome. I'm just gonna do tool sky. On all of the faces that are not quite on the edge. And then bring back the light environment. And maybe this will do a better job than I expected, because right now it looks alright. Even on the ceiling, I should be doing it. Any other spaces that are not quite that are world border and are not quite like touching an edge? Does not look like it. Well, somehow I would need to light up this area, so oh, I did forget about the ceiling. Is there anywhere here Doesn't look like it. Do I get rid of that rule and just like throw this here? Sure. I go back to Fulbright because I can't see anything. I can't believe I wasn't just double clicking that whole time. All right, how about in here? This area actually somehow receives lighting. That's kind of crazy to me. I don't. Okay, based on the sun angle, I should be doing it this way. Based on that sun angle, I shouldn't bother doing these. They don't accomplish anything. Okay. Up here is fine. This particular spot has become very dark, and I don't know if it was like that before. I undo, nothing changes, so it is the angle that's causing it. So maybe I will stick with the angle being, whoops, mostly horizontal, or mostly entirely on the y-axis. Does that help? Not really. I'll leave it alone. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so now moving into this next area. I forgot to press Shift T. I have to go back to Fulbright because I can't see anything. Right down here is hard to light up, so I'm going to withdraw that rule I set. Just throw that down. The angle I chose for the sun also kind of means... No, this is the one where there's two different angles. Okay, never mind. So I should still be doing this as well. It's quite it's quite bad not having Moondome. The consequences of not using Moondome is it looks horrible. Hmm. I'll just... I'm just gonna put these faces anywhere that I feel needs light. That one doesn't really do much. Okay, then instead I will ignore the problem there. Okay, I'm gonna build it and then just move on, because I really have no idea how... I need to do some other research to figure out how to light up this interior area nicely. I didn't set a sky, so it's just gonna be black, but that's okay. I won't say that this is the worst. I mean, at least I can see. This area is pretty bad, but that's where I can just add an actual light source instead of the sun. Uh-oh. Alright, I'm not gonna make it right now. I don't need to do the rest of the route. Just no clipping around. The lighting is mostly fine. So I think what if I do just pick a Moondome material, then I can just leave the lighting as is until like one of the last things I end up doing. Or leave it as one of the last things I end up doing, I mean to say. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna move on. I don't think I'm quite ready yet to like post it for playtest. I would at least wanna wait first before I do anything. I would save. So I'm actually gonna leave this as the lighting and just move on to the materials, and then I'll go back and do a second pass for the lighting later.